Hi, this is Perry Hampton. I'm curator of estuarine biology here at Calvert Marine Museum in lovely Solomons, Maryland.
Our first question comes from Maddie, who's 7 years old and lives in Huntingtown, and she wants to know how many babies a female river otter usually has at one time.
Well, Maddie, that's a great question. Usually female river otters have between 2 and 5 young pups, also known as kits, anytime they have a litter.
Okay. Russell, who's 6, also in Huntingtown, wants to know how long river otters usually live.
Hi, Russell. Another good question. River otters in the wild usually live between 10 to 15 years on average. Here at the museum, our oldest otter is actually 17 years old. They tend to live a little bit longer when they get good care and from veterinarians and good nutrition and things like that.
Okay. And then we have a user on Instagram wants to know, do river otters spend much time on land?
River otters are considered to be terrestrial animals primarily, meaning that they spend most of their time on land. However, they are exceptionally gifted swimmers and very, very comfortable in the water.
Okay. Elaine on Instagram wants to know, what is the estimated population of otters in the wild in southern Maryland?
Elaine, that's a tough question to ask. I did some looking into that, and it's hard to know exactly how many are really found in the wild in southern Maryland. What I did find was that they are considered to be relatively common, particularly along the watershed of the Chesapeake Bay. In other words, the rivers and streams that feed into the bay, and less common in other parts of Maryland, particularly when you get out into places like western Maryland.
Jenny, who's 9 years old, wants to know where the otters came from and if they all came here from the same place.
Hi, Jenny. That's a good question. We have 3 river otters. They did not all come from the same place. The oldest is Chumlee, and he's about 17 years old. He's our oldest boy here and is considered geriatric. He came to us from Florida, and he was an orphaned animal, in other words, abandoned by his mother, and they needed a place to house him, so we took him. The second one is another male, and his name is Calvert. He's about 4 years old, and he came to us from Louisiana, where he had been trapped. In Louisiana, they're considered nuisance animals because they sometimes get into aquaculture facilities and try to steal the crayfish and the fish and things like that. So we provided a home for him. And our last one is Chessie Grace, our only female. She's also about 4 years old, and she was born in captivity and needed a home, which we were very happy to provide for her.
And our last question is from Sean in Huntingtown, and Sean wants to know why, even though Chumlee is our oldest river otter here at the museum, Calvert is the biggest of the 3.
Well, Sean, that's a good observation. Calvert is slightly larger than either of the other 2, significantly more so than Chessie Grace. Generally speaking, we humans and most animals, we do grow bigger as we get older. Until we reach a certain age, we kind of mature, and then we sort of level off and we stop growing. That said, there will always be some differences in size. It's not always directly related to age. If that were true, the oldest person on Earth would also be the biggest person on Earth, and we know that's not true, right? Well, those were all really good questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. It's so nice that we have so many people who are so interested in all of our river otters and all of our animals and things here at the museum. If you have other questions, please feel free to send them to us in the future. We love getting them. We love hearing from all of you folks. So have a great day and stay safe.